Hey YouTube, this is Matt with Neighbors Lawn Care Little Guy. I just wanted to make a video. I haven't made a video in a long time, and I know I said that I was going to try to post them like every couple weeks or so, but it's just life gets busy. You know, this is talking about balancing life with lawn care, and I just wanted to give a shout out and thank, I don't know if it's Guth or Guth Lawn Care out of Eureka. I just want to thank you for the comment. You're actually my first comment ever. So you get the award for my favorite follower, my favorite subscriber. I believe you subscribe. I'm still pretty new to YouTube, so trying to find that list of people, I don't know how to do that yet. So I don't know if you're my subscriber, but Guth, I'll just go with Guth or Guth. No, I like Guth better. Let me know if it's wrong. But Guth Lawn Care, thank you so much for your comment. I appreciate that. I went to your YouTube channel, saw a lot of your videos, and see you've been in lawn care for 10 years. I've been in for this. I'm going to my 4th season, so I just appreciate it. So thank you for encouraging me, and it's kind of provoked me to do a little bit of an update. So I'm going to do an update. What have I been doing? It's been a long time since I put a video on. So I've just been pressing on, you know, trying to grow each year, trying to stay a solo act because the cost of employees is really high. So it's just much easier to manage as a sole proprietor. And I've seen a lot of videos on hiring. Top Notch even just put out a video about the pros and cons of hiring, and it just all depends on what you want out of your business, I'm quite certain. And right now it's a part-time gig for me. I never intended to go full-time. I just wanted to supplement my income. My full-time job, though I could probably make more money per hour doing lawn care, it's hard to make up the income that I have in my full-time job. I would actually have to hire, so it's a big step for me. Not saying I'd never do it, but I'm just not sure that's in my future to go full-time. So I'm just trying to be as efficient as I can as a solo gig. I bought new equipment. I got my first zero turn this year. I'm really anxious to get that out on some turf to see how well it does. I got a Gravely, the residential, the ZT34, so it can fit in back of every gate in my neighborhood, or the neighborhoods that I cut. All the gates are like super small. Sometimes even a 36 is really difficult to get back there. You got to be real careful. So 34 I think is going to do really well. I bought a Toro 30. That was like a life changer for me last year, but I was still walking all my lawns, so I was just still whipped. So I said I needed to start riding on at least part of my lawns. What else did I do? I got the last video I made, I was maxed out at 17. The first year I was maxed out at it wasn't very much. It really wasn't. It was like 15 or something like that. I can't remember, but it wasn't very much. Well, now I went from 17 up to 26 lawns, so I increased by 10 with that Toro Time Master. I got the residential. I buy residential for almost everything. I've got a commercial 32, the Pro Line Toro, belt drive walk behind T-bar. That thing was really great, but it's a little bit bulky and cumbersome for the small yards I do. But anyways, I'm kind of rambling about it, but I've just made a lot of changes for efficiency. My record keeping, I changed that up a lot, so now it only takes me about 20 minutes per week to log all my expenses, all my money that I've received. I've got it all pre-formulated formulated in an Excel worksheet to calculate everything. Even estimated taxes, my tithe for church. In my first video, I talked a little bit about faith and balancing family and faith and lawn care. So that's why I bring up the tithe. I've even got that all calculated. So when my wife asks me, hey, what's your tithe on your business? I just bring up the Excel spreadsheet and it's got it right there. And it's pretty awesome. It does it on a weekly and monthly basis. And yeah, so I give a portion of that back to God. I give a portion of it for taxes. I know there's a lot of guys that are like me. It was surprising me how many guys don't pay their taxes, but I'm not one of those guys. I'm going to pay my taxes. Another thing that I'm doing this year, I partner with another guy in the neighborhood who sprays lawns, and he does it for a really good price. He even does one-time sprays, and that's something that I just didn't have the time to do. So I'm offering that now, and I'm just getting kind of a cut for referrals from him. But he's so cheap that even though there's a markup for my cut, he's still under a lot of the large chains. He's a retired guy, and he just does it as a retirement gig. So he's not trying to get rich either. So it's a real good fit. What else am I doing? I did a 12-month package now. I call it 12-month subscription, to where I package things like weekly mowing for 36 weeks. That's the factor that I use. Aerating, dethatching, overseeding, bush trimming, and flower bed cleaning. I do all that in my neighborhood. I do that for $135 a month for 12 months. Oh, excuse me. Allergies. I started doing that, and that was a really good thing for me last year. It provided a buffer, and we never felt like that that it was all that effective until we realized that that we had never fallen below our minimum balance that we'd already preset in our checking account. Because I take 100% out of my business. The business actually has no money, so I take 100% out of it. And one of the goals that we've got a preset a number that we want to keep in our checking. And if we go below that, we start getting nervous, and it's kind of like our new zero. It's like we feel like we got no money at that point. And basically what we did is we totaled up all of our bills. How much does it cost us to make all of our bills for 1 month? And then we added a buffer in there, about 10%. And that's our zero in our checking account. So if we go below that, it doesn't mean that we're not going to make our bills. It just means that we don't have that buffer in case something happens. We can still make our bills for at least 1 month before we have to get into our savings. So that's what we like to do, and we haven't had to do that this year. And I think it's because of the 12-month subscription. So that's something that I'm encouraging. My customers have been faithful. I haven't been stiff but once on that. And you can determine how you deal with that. The guy moved to Chicago. I'm not getting the money. That's just the way it is. I'm not even going to take him to court. So basically, I just stopped service on him when he stopped paying, so I didn't take too much of a loss on that. But that's just the way I do it. I'm sure there's guys out there that would say, hey, that's not the right way to do it. But other than that, in the off season, I took on a new Bible study with my church. One of my pastors have been encouraging me to do a small group in my home, and I never had the time. But I decided to do that, and that was really wonderful. It was 10 weeks. It was really only 8 weeks of instruction, but then we took 2 weeks off, and it was really great. Got some great guys, and I'm really looking forward to following up with them and during the season, maybe for a lunch here and there or a coffee, something like that. And then also I'm going to do something that we'd call an Andrew dinner throughout the course of the year. If I don't have time to do a straight up group because of lawn season, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start inviting guys over for dinner, and I'm going to maybe share like a testimony or invite somebody to come talk to them. Just real short, just to give some people an exposure to Jesus, because that's what it was. Because in the Bible, if you're a Bible goer, the story of how Peter came to know Jesus was Jesus didn't go get Peter like he did some of the other disciples. Jesus actually got Andrew, and Andrew was the brother of Peter, and he went and got Peter and said, hey, I think we found the Messiah. And he came and introduced Peter to Jesus. So that's kind of the heart behind that, what I call an Andrew dinner, which I got from another buddy. Was basically to invite people that don't know Jesus to come meet him and through a testimony. So that's my plan there. Also, I started taking my daughter to karate, and she loves that, and I'm hoping that builds her confidence and helps her out in every area of life with school, hopefully a little bit of discipline in the home, because she's 6 years old, and this is the time where it's really critical to develop that portion of them. So that was a lot of fun. I'm doing it with her. We do it through another church. It's free with the exception of donation. I think it's like $20 to test up to a belt, and it's just to cover the belt and the boards they break and all that type of stuff. But that was really fun, and so I'm looking forward to going back to that. And trying to think of what else, but I got to keep this video somewhat short. So anyways, that's what's going on with me. I'd love to hear your comments. If you'd like to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe. Again, I don't know how consistent I'm going to be on videos, but I just appreciate Guth Lawn Care for your comment, and it's encouraged me to make another one. So if you see this video, give me some suggestions on what you want to hear about. If you think that my topics are interesting, lawn care, family, faith, let me know what you want to know specifically. Again, I just want to keep humble in this type of stuff no matter how long I'm doing this. So I claim to know nothing, but I know what I've experienced, and I'd love to share that with you. So comment, subscribe, give me a shout on some topics you want to hear about, and I'll make a video on that one day or another. But maybe one day I'll be more consistent with it. But I just appreciate you viewing this, and we'll talk to you later.